God, time flies.
Today is a new day, oh, and I'm thankful. No time for regrets, no, but I'm hopeful. So many didn't get a chance, nah. So be grateful. Hey, things might not go my way, but me not complain. Life is a blessing, me I stay thankful.
King Clarke again, and this is my appeal. Yeah, hear me? Man, dash away your pride and get your prostate check. Yeah, hear me? Come and say dash away your pride and get your prostate check. Yeah, hear me now? Yo, this is King Clarke, and I'm appealing to all my brothers over the age of 40. Please, go get your prostate check.
Embarrassed. Too embarrassed to speak to a loved one. Too embarrassed to speak to your doctor.
Too embarrassed. When in our lifetime, 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer.
Let me repeat that. 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer disease.
1 in 12. That could be your dad, even your older brother, uncle, or grandfather.
You need to make sure they are not embarrassed to speak to you or their doctor about it.
Hey, Dad, have you had your prostate checked out? See? How hard is that? It's easy. Just start the conversation.
Prostate cancer is survivable if caught and treated early enough.
Don't let embarrassment stop you having this important conversation.
You may save someone's life.
Not just your own.
My name is Colin McFarlane. I'm an actor. Google me and see all my stuff, but forget all that. Most important thing you need to know is that I got diagnosed with prostate cancer, right? And I got diagnosed because a friend of mine called John Shrapnel, who sadly is no longer with us, told me 20 years ago that black men are double the risk. So when you get over 50, make sure you have a blood test every year, right? So I did it for about 6 years. And then what happens is your number goes up on the test. And mine went up a little bit, and they said, we want to keep a close eye. So I said, can I have it every 6 months? Then that was for another year and a half, and then they went, it's gone up again. We want to do a MRI. They did an MRI. I then got a call saying you've got a 30% chance it's cancer. And I was like, whoa. Well, there's a 70% chance it's not. And they went, yeah, but we want to do a biopsy. So they did a biopsy, and they took samples of my prostate and discovered that I did have cancer, right? And I've been being tested for 8 years, so I caught it early. So my specialist said to me, you will not need treatment at the moment, but you'll need active surveillance, which means I have a blood test every 3 months and an MRI once a year. But here's the thing you need to know. You cannot wait for pain, and you cannot wait for symptoms for prostate cancer. I have prostate cancer, right? I have no pain, I have no symptoms, but I have prostate cancer. But because I know about it, I've caught it early. Now here's the bit you also need to understand, is that gives me the best options for treatment. If you wait, you have less treatment options available, and you have to have it removed, or you have to have radiotherapy. That means you'll live, but you have lifestyle problems, right? You'll have erectile dysfunction, and you'll have incontinence. Now, I'm assuming you're a red-blooded male. Do you want to lose your erection? Probably not, right? So if you don't want to lose your erection, motherfucker, what you need to do is do what I just told you. You go to your GP and you say, a friend of mine who was in Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, this actor, right? The voice of the Cube, right? He's done a lot of stuff. He has no symptoms, no pain, and he's under active surveillance because the risk is not pain and symptoms. The risk is your age. And as soon as you are over 45 as a black man, you are at risk. I have two brothers who knew nothing about prostate cancer. I told them to get tested 2 years ago. Both of them have now been diagnosed with prostate cancer, and both of them need treatment. I don't need treatment yet. So what I'm saying to you is you need to understand it's known as the silent killer for a reason. There are more people dying from prostate cancer than breast cancer, but breast cancer patients or women are invited for a mammogram. We are not invited for a test for prostate cancer. I'm working on that with a charity. So these are the things you want to understand. The other thing is, I understand you have a daughter. If a man gets advanced prostate cancer and has a daughter, she is at increased risk of breast and ovarian cancer. Yes, fact. So if you won't do this test for yourself, do it for your daughter, right? I've been saying this to men for over a year now, and a lot of men have rung me up and thanked me because they feel I've saved their life. I hope you're going to listen to me because I'm saving yours, all right? And if you have any more questions, your sister knows where I am. She knows Annie Domingo. She can find me. But trust me, do not wait. Do not wait for pain. Do not wait for symptoms, because by the time you have pain, that means it's spread. Because the cancer's inside your prostate. That's about that big, right? If it stays inside your prostate, you can treat it and cure it. Once it leaves your prostate, it goes into your bones and into your lymph nodes, which means it goes all around your body. You don't want to wait for that. Trust me, black men need to get tested every single year. Go to your GP, say, I deserve a blood test, I have a right to have a blood test, and have it. And if you have any questions, go to the Prostate Cancer website, Prostate Cancer UK. It's a bit noisy behind me because the cast have come through. But go there, and there's something called a risk checker. It takes 30 seconds. Put in your age, your family history of cancer, and your ethnicity, and it will tell you what I just told you, that you need to go to your GP and get a blood test. Do it.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. I'm your host, 10-Star General, alongside the beautiful Sharon Mango, all the way down there in New Jersey. She's going to introduce herself. She's going to introduce our next artist, who is he's going to be telling his story about, his journey with prostate cancer. Sharon is going to do a lot of the talking. I'll be doing some interjections here and there, and I'll be doing a couple of things on the outside. But I will be heavily active on this show today. Sharon Mango, if you would introduce yourself, please.
Hi.
And give them a rundown of the show so far that we've done, and let's bring on our next guest.
All right. So, greetings and blessings to everyone. I am Sharon Mango, co-host on SBRB Radio podcast channel. And at the moment, what we're doing, we are pushing the agenda on prostate cancer. This is the 4th series. And we've been talking to some amazing people who's come forward, some amazing men who have come forward and told us about their journey, prostate cancer, symptoms, how they found out. And we will continue to push that agenda because it seems to be quite rampant. It's a silent killer. And early detection saves lives. So today's guest, we have amazing, one of my favorite men, British artist, singer, songwriter, bass player, Basie Clarke. And Basie will be coming on to tell us his journey, how he found out from start to finish, so you can all get an understanding that it is not a death sentence. Prostate cancer doesn't have to be a death sentence. If it's caught early, you have options. So without further ado, let me bring on my friend. I can consider him my friend, my good friend, Basie Clarke.
Let's just listen to this very quickly.
The music so nice and sweet. Spin tune. I really kinda like that. I've got to go now, baby. I've got to go. I've got to go now, baby. I've got to go. Farewell, my darling, now farewell. Light of my life, my darling, now farewell.
So that was the great Basie Clarke.
Basie Clarke. That's for people who didn't know. Of course, we know. That's for all you who don't know who this phenomenal gentleman is. That's Basie Clarke. Welcome, 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 my friend. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Sharon. Good afternoon, 10 Star.
Yes, sir. 10 Star, you there? Oh, okay. So before I even say anything else, I want to say to everyone, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, if there are any other people who want to come forward and tell us their story with prostate cancer or cancer period, because yes, we're targeting prostate cancer, but we will be going into all areas of cancer or illnesses, just so people could know that they're not the only one. I think a lot of times some people think that they're alone, and you're not alone. There is a support out there. I'm a support. 10 Star is a support. If you don't have support where you are, we will get you support. But just so you know, do not be afraid to tell your story. It more than likely it will free you and make you feel like, hey, I can beat this thing. The whole agenda is I can do this. So, Basie, how you doing, my friend?
Really, really good to see you, Sharon. Long time overdue, darling. How you doing?
I am good, blessed. Blessed. God woke me up this morning, so I am here for the agenda. The mission continues.
Aye.
Yes. All right, 10 Star, say your greetings.
Yes, it's all happening all at one go here today. So I'm trying to keep up. You know, they say the older you get, the faster you get.
Yeah, remember that actually. Let's not dumb it down. Don't forget the faster you get.
So yes, it's a pleasure to have Basie here today.
Yes.
Basie, even before I heard about a good friend of mine called Big Stone, who had his run-ins with prostate cancer, I remember a couple of years ago, and I was told by a mutual friend of ours that you were going through some hard times with prostate cancer. And I remember you came to my residence and me and you spoke about your journey with cancer. And I remember trying to be there for you as best I could to help set your mind. And I remember I'm thinking to myself, he's going through a lot. Although I can't comprehend what he's going through, I have to make him feel like he's strong enough to conquer it. You know what I mean? And that realization of what I told him became my realization when I went through it. Because the same emotions and fears you went through, Basie, I found myself going through the same thing for the first 3 weeks. My mind just wasn't settled, you know what I mean? And it was great people like yourself and others who came to my aid, and I was able to overcome that fear. Today, as it stands, even though, you know, we haven't made headways with my situation and cancer, I feel like now I'm strong enough. Like I feel like I'm strong like Samson. Put it that way. I feel that no weapon formed against me will prosper. I feel like I'm gonna smash this thing and I'm gonna have a testimony. So that's how I feel right now. You know what I mean? But I remember the initial battle for me. The first 3 weeks was horrendous. I had to shut myself away and just try and understand what it is that I'm going through. Funny enough, it was my daughter who's here with me right now. She says, "Oh, Dad, you know you're going to get through it." And I goes, "Yeah, you know." He goes, it's what I'm studying at university. You're going to get through it. This 98 or 95% of people get through this thing. And hearing her say that as well, and thinking to myself, yeah, I can do this. So we want to know what you went through. We're going to tackle the nitty gritty of your journey. So I'm going to let Sharon kick it off. I'll be listening in the background, but I'll be here to intersect here and there. Sharon, go ahead.
Yes, of course. And before I begin, let me say Happy Father's Day to all you amazing men out there. 10 stars face. Happy Father's Day. I wish you many blessings. Continue to support your children. Talk to your children and let your children know what's going on. It's a blessing to have a child and an honor to know that you brought forth these beautiful children and then you go through something like this. So this just kind of rolls into it, right? So basically, let me ask you, what symptoms were you having, first of all, that prompted you to go get checked? Like, what was actually going on with you?
My initial problem started 2 years before I actually found out I had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So my own body, in terms of as a human being, as a male, we feel that we are dominating or we're here to dominate. But obviously, when a man loses his direction, that was the first frustrating thing, that signs of things. I wanted to go to the toilet. I kept in the middle of the night, even though I didn't drink any water. And I was wondering why my body was behaving that way. And the very first time I reported it to my GP, when they checked me, they did all various tests and said to me, "Oh, I'm too young. It's not cancer." And for 2 years, trust me, I went to the doctors on about 3 occasions over a 2-year period. And they kept saying to me, "Oh no, they did this test, they did a blood test, they did the rectum test." And they kept saying to me, "Oh no." Anyway, I asked them, I said, "No, I want another opinion." So this time they decided to put me on the machine, obviously the MRI machine. That's obviously, it's one of their tools.
Right.
As soon as they put me on that machine, am I speaking over somebody?
No. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, as soon as they put me on the machine, it was there in black and white, and straight away they spotted what they were looking for. Anyway, within 2 weeks of getting the results back, they said that to do it again because they were worried it had actually gone to my bones. That's another part of the procedure. So there's some people who have symptoms. There's, as you've heard, there's plenty of us who don't have symptoms.
Right.
But if you recognize your own body, to me that's the first start. That you recognize your own body. You don't wait for someone to say to you, "Oh, is that hurting?" No. And I'm glad, as you can see, all these years down the line, because it was very embarrassing. But when I went back a further 2 weeks after that, I had my wife, I had my daughters with me, and they shared the news to me. They told me what the circumstances were. And I was told if I didn't have an operation within 2 weeks, I wouldn't have seen that the year. And that's where it all hit home. And then that was another explosion. Could you imagine? You don't know what's wrong. Then you get told that. Then you get told if you don't do this, you're not going to see the end of the year. And I looked at my wife and I looked at my girls' faces. And because they started to cry, "Dad, you have to do it." There's some names that I'm not going to mention their names because I want to protect their privacy as well. But there's some artists that I've worked with, over the years. They were going through the same thing, and they kept saying to me, "Make sure you do not let them examine you." Obviously, it's a man's private part, but yes, who wants a hand to go up your backside? But unfortunately, fortunate for me, when I say unfortunate, those who didn't have that test, they're no longer here. Sorry to say it like that, but once again, I'm protecting their privacy. Those people who said, "Don't let them do that to you," they're no longer here. I might have lost if it's my man show, whatever it is. I've got 6 children. I don't need nothing else. I've got grandchildren, them growing at me ears right now. So I'm happy that I'm still here on this earth to spend time with them and to watch them grow. So what more can I ask for, to be honest?
I have to ask you this question though. When you were first having those symptoms, and it was like, no, because you said they told you were too young. So how old were you when you was experiencing these things? That's important to know.
In my late 40s, I was about 47, 48. 48, I think it was, 48. Because as I got to 51, that's when I got the third opinion, and that's when they actually found out. So that, yeah.
Okay. So in an essence, they're saying, it said, by the time you hit 40, you should go check. But initially, what I've been hearing is that you check before. It's 55, 35 and up. Start getting checked, because now they cannot put an age on when this starts. You cannot. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you've gotten to a certain point. I said after you hit 30, start checking yourself. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you check. Maybe something's there, maybe you don't know, or it's just. And again, it's various symptoms. Of course, I'm not a man, but it's various symptoms. And if you don't know yourself and you don't know your body and something's not working right, go and get checked, especially in the lower extremities. Right there, very important. It's different for us women when you go to you're going to the gynecologist. I mean, you can put your legs up and you can see everything and do all of that. For a man, it's a little different. But again, the importance of what I'm saying is the age. 35, I would say, go get checked. There's no age limit to this thing, because they will try to push you and tell you you're too young. If you kept listening, you would just went along with it, and then that was it. So I'm sorry. So go ahead now. So when you found out you had the MRI, you did a second one or whatever test that they did again, and that determined what? That determined the cancer. At what stage? What stage did they tell you were?
Stage 4.
Stage 4. Wow. Are you serious?
It had left my prostate area, and it was just about to touch the bones. That's when that's the speed that they had to operate to obviously keep me here going. I'm still here, but yeah, that's how far it was.
Wow.
Jeez. That's real deep right there, because if he himself knew who he was, and when it got checked and the supposed physicians are telling you you're too young, it's okay. Nah, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. So you then prompt yourself.
Once again, you know what? To be honest, sorry to interrupt you, Sharon, but to be honest, I don't even blame those doctors or those surgeons or those whatever their medical name is. At the end of the day, I'm more thankful to myself that I persisted, because obviously if I had listened to them the first time, I'm too young, I would have just gone away with it and tried to just swallow it by myself. And the longer you leave it, as we all know what the capabilities are, you understand? So once again, I'm extremely lucky, because it had left my prostate and it was on the verge of touching my bones. That's why they called me back for the second MRI, and that was the speed that they had to determine how quickly they had to operate on me.
What
so I never had the option of.
What
I didn't hear that,
emotion,
General. Sorry, can you say that again, please?
what emotions did you go through at the time?
Once again, having thought about it over the last 9 years, because that's how long, I'm still enduring it. But as you can see, I'm so much more open with it. But for 2 years, General, please listen to me carefully. For 2 years, I could not speak to any other man, as much as I tried to. And because they're male, we are supposed to be superpower. And, they kind of dismissed it and took it as a joke thing. So obviously, that was the position I was in. So I couldn't speak to anyone. I had my wife and I had my children, and I had obviously my mum and my brothers around me, but that was it. And obviously they're not around me 24 hours, but my children, especially my daughters, they were the biggest help to me during that time. You understand?
Wow.
And from the moment that they said to me, I saw the tears coming down their eyes. Remember, I'm also being told the news in front of them at what
Yeah.
stage I am and how far my one has gone.
Mm.
They cried, I cried, we all cried.
Mm.
And I said to them, oh, I'm not doing it. You know, in my heart of heart, I said, I'm not doing it, you know, because of this man show kind of thing. But in the end, when I looked at their faces and I thought to myself, I want to see my children, man. I'm
Mm.
not ready. You understand? I have to do it. And they said, Dad, you have to do it. That was all they had to say once. They only said it once. And that was it. My mind made up. And I gave the clinician permission to go ahead with the operation, which I had 3 weeks. Inside 3 weeks, it was. Inside 3 weeks.
So
Wow.
when you
But I was broken, General. To answer you what General was saying to me, General, I was broken. Having got the news, then to have to soak it in, you know, then to have knowing that you're having an operation, then to be, you know that you can't perform no more. You know, although you try, it was horrible, General. To me, it was horrible. And the worst part about it, I was alone. No other man really wanted to talk about it. So it was a burden I had to suffer by myself. As I said, the artists, them who I'm not going to call their names, we shared it amongst each other, but they also were advising me not to go through the procedure.
Okay.
As I said, they've gone. Thankfully, I'm still here. As I said, I'm talking to myself and what happened to me.
Yeah, yeah. I always share with I think he's frozen. Okay. I've always shared with our listeners about Vincent Smith because his journey is a learning process. And Basie is the person who was in the car with us. We were on our way to Panic Studio, and Vincent Smith said, "Misoon dead," and he kept on saying it one too many times. We had to park over the car, and we all had our piece of flesh from him, where we said, "What are you talking negative for?" You know, and he showed us the proof that he only had so much time to live, and it broke us. And the thing that, you know, the last message that I remember him saying to us in the car, he said, "Do not die out of ignorance like I did. If I
Ignorance.
could ask Father God for another chance, I would," was his words to us. And he was praying to God for life, and he was going through excruciating pain. And I basically remember he had a gadget on his arm which was feeding him morphine every time he was going through the pain. And he was trying his best to do the voicing at the same time. We were able to, you know, get some you know, a song out of him out of difficulty, but you know, I will never forget it. And the reason why he's not just Big Stone or Basie, it's people like Vincent Smith and others who have died out of that ignorance. You know what I mean? Well, we don't make no money, because that was his words. We don't make no money to drop me things and this, that, and the other. You know? And the reason why we do these shows, we want to give you know, people a chance to get their own life right. I mean, medical advancement since the time of the finger. Now we're having, you know, things like the PSA test, you know. And if it's not the PSA test, then there's the MRI. So there's a number of things they can do to ensure that, you know, they can make sure you're in a safe place. And as Big Stone says, and everybody else has said, early detection saves lives. When the surgeon spoke to me, she said, and she cried. We both cried, me and the surgeon and the person who came with me at the time, you know. And she, you know, she said she is so overjoyed that I am one of the few people she is able to tell that I have options. You see where I'm coming from? Many people, she's had to tell them the dark truth. I have no options for you. You see where I'm coming from? So that's the whole point of these conversations. Sharon, over to you.
Yeah. Whew. I still can't get over it with stage 4, though. I really cannot get over that. But let me ask you this question, because you're being so transparent, and we really appreciate this, because it's important to know the processes and at different levels what process that people have to go through. And for you, when they told you you were going to do the surgery, did they break down everything to you, meaning that after the surgery, what you have to go through, you'll experience, will you be able to perform? Did they break everything down to you? Like, tell me what they told you.
You actually said exact words. Obviously, it would be nice if it came from me, but exactly what you just said, Sharon. All I can say to you, having been broken the news and found out how far it had gone, to soak that in and then to be told you've got to have the operation. So obviously they told me what each stage was. I was aware of it coming up to that. You understand? But to have them all rammed in so tightly together, of course I was told that I wouldn't be able to perform. The key word that they said to me, if I don't, there was no other option. If I didn't have the operation, I would not survive the year. That's what I was told. And that's the cold truth of what was said to me. So when I wanted to have the operation or think about it, there was no time to do that. I looked at my children crying and I thought, I have to do this. So the rest is history.
Yeah.
But I had no choice. There was no alternative for me. It's not something that I had a road I could choose. That was the direct situation that I was in.
So after the surgery now, did you have to go through chemo or radiation? Like, after the surgery, and how long was the healing process?
Okay, well, I took 6 weeks off. Obviously, everyone knows I still do security, okay? So I'm working Monday to Friday, as one of my songs says, from 12, it's 12-hour shifts basically, so from 8 to 8.
Yeah.
6 weeks after the surgery, I went back to work. Every single day I had to go to the hospital to have a PSA and something else done, follow-up of treatments kind of thing. Basically, could you imagine going to work for 6.5 weeks, and each day, in fact, when I had the operation the first time, because I've had it twice, prostate cancer, just to establish and make sure I'm not saying the wrong information. I've had it twice, but when I had it the first time, they offered me it's either chemotherapy or radiotherapy. Now, with the chemotherapy, obviously the choice was very clear. I'd lose my hair. Obviously, everyone knows how much hair I've got underneath here. Yeah. That was a no for me. Hence, it came back the second time. So when it came back the second time, the same options were given to me again. This time, the only one that was feasible was radiotherapy. So 6.5 weeks, every single day while going to work, I went for radiotherapy. 33 sessions of them I had.
Wow.
So that was within the first 6 months of the whole thing, from being told that if you don't have the operation, you're not going to live, so we'll see at the year. And that's how quickly everything kind of just manifested. Thankfully, 9 years down the line, all I can say fast forwarding is that every 3 months I'm still being checked. My PSA obviously is still being checked. It's still at 0.01, which it has been for the last 3 or 4 years, but they wanted to increase it to every 6 months, which we did a couple of years ago, and it started to look a bit wavery again. So I told them I want it done every 3 months, and they persisted with that. But so far, touch wood, I'm still here.
Let me ask you, Basie, what was the frequency between, or the time scale between when you had the first cancer and they did the operation, and then you were in a safe place, and then it came back again? What was the gap between that period?
I would say roughly just under 2.5 years, so just over 2 years.
Okay. And did it come back more aggressive than before, or what was it like?
First of all, John, I just want to make this kind of clear. Obviously, I'm being as open as possible. But having prostate cancer once and having it removed, you would thought that obviously if it's removed, you can't have prostate cancer again, or that was my belief. Okay, but my one was removed and came back. Imagine they've taken out my prostate. It was removed completely. There was no options about anything else. It was removed. Just over 2 years later, it came back in the same area. And my prostate had been removed. So
I'm
exactly,
I'm trying to grasp that, because if
that's
it's
my
not
experience.
if it's not there, then where has it attached itself to? The prostate's gone, right? The prostate's not there. So where is it now? Is it attached to something else? Like
what they did say to me when they realized my levels were going up, I went back and had another MRI scan, and obviously when they did the first removal, they said to me, obviously, remember, our body is full of all kinds of different things, and sensitive or different bits them, and because the tiny is so tiny, they can't see without the machine. So even though it was a robotic machine that did the operation on me, basically, it wasn't a human, it was the robot, obviously somebody guiding the robot what to do. But you can't get every single bit, because some of it is not clear to the eye or clear to the machine. So obviously there was a bit still left in there. And that's what seemed to have happened to me. That's what happened to me.
Okay. If they had gotten everything, it probably wouldn't have come back. Or if you had did the radiation the first time, it probably would have killed the cells, right?
The cells right, exactly. But because I chose not to have chemotherapy, that was why it obviously came back. Because obviously the chemo would have, probably dealt with it there and then. But I didn't want to lose this, as you know.
Okay, so the second time around now, and then you did the surgery again. You decided that I'm going to do the chemo.
There was no need. Radiotherapy. So obviously there was no third option. It was either chemo or radio. And obviously I didn't want to do the chemo again, so I chose the 33 sessions of radiotherapy.
Right. And so did you lose your hair?
No, obviously not. Only with chemo do you lose your hair. Only through chemo can you lose your hair.
Okay. All right. So you did the okay. Yeah, I understand. Okay. So after that, now, where are you in terms of your body? Because you through this thing, like, did your eating habits change? Like, how did you begin to educate your own self on moving forward to try to stay healthy? You know what I mean? So you don't get to that level again. Like, what was your process?
Basically, obviously going through the whole stages, I was, told from the clinical point of view, certain things, we're West Indians, we're used to our, whether it's curry water, we're used to our hard food, oxtail. Like me, I love my oxtail, you understand? Certain things you have to kind of let go. And that line was drawn to me straight away. So I chose, my wife encouraged and made sure it's maybe once in a month, if I'm lucky, I might get one of my favorites, them cook. You understand? Because I still do like the taste of it, but I just can't have it too regular or too enough. You understand?
Yeah.
So you have to make life changes. But for me, being here and being open with everyone, the biggest stigma that I'm still living with today is because I know I can't perform no more. From that kind of personal point of view. But for me, this is where I get strength from, because, as I said, I've got my children already. I've got my grandchildren. Them. I've done that already. I don't need to do that again, if that makes sense. So God has kept me here for a reason to do other things. So that's what I'm really focusing on. You understand?
Right.
It makes a lot of sense. Again, that's something that I think that, again, as we discussed earlier on, that is the biggest thing, especially for a Black man, knowing he can't do anything anymore. And I'm trying to phrase this correctly. So that being said, there are so much other things that you can do. All right. It all depends on, and it seems to me you had a good family structure as well, who was there to support you and understand. A lot of men may not be in a position that they have that understanding individual with them, because they know they got to go through this process And if they're not able to perform or do whatever, then they're going to feel useless. The individual might make them feel useless. It's like, it's a real thin line. It's a very, very thin line. And again, you're quite fortunate, if I can say that you had your children, your wife was there, and basically helped you through your process, if I'm correct in saying that.
Perfect. Perfectly said. I couldn't have done it without them, Sharon. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
Right. Well, again, we're speaking to those men out there. This the whole point to this show. We're trying to reach these men to try to save their lives. And unfortunately, a lot of them think if they don't have that portion of themselves, that their manhood is gone, and they'd rather die. They'd rather die knowing they can't do anything.
As I said, I'm not calling any names, but as I said, I've had a few friends, you know, of well-established names that said exactly the same thing. They're not going to go down that road. They'd rather just go. I chose to fight and do without that kind of lifestyle, but at least I'm still here, and I'm glad I did. Trust me.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation, and I that in the light of there's a lot of for instance, you know, breast cancer is a big thing. There's always that awareness. They don't have that awareness for prostate cancer, and we're trying to push that. But back to the breast cancer, for those women who have to go out and remove a portion of their, you know what I mean, a breast or both breasts, kind of like the same thing. But I think that for them, once they know and they've had to make that decision, it's not a matter of, oh, the man want me. It's they're in a different mindset. But for a man, it's like you've removed that. It's there, it's like it's not there. And a lot of them are not able to handle that. And the agenda, once again, is to just change that whole narrative to be like, hey, let's just say this. Everybody's situation is different as it may result in not performing, depending on your level, what stage you are. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. And I think that a lot of Black men have to be educated a bit more to be like, hey, it doesn't mean it can't happen. It's just one of the possibilities, right? If you got it, depending on what your stage is, right? So that narrative also has to be pushed. It's not the same for everybody, just what you're going through, what stage and how far. It depends. It always depends. So I just wanted to put that out there. This has happened to you, and you've made peace with it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be that way for somebody else, right? So, and that's the problem. They all think that's the end result. Oh, I can't do nothing. Not necessarily. So there's so much education, personally, I think, that needs to really be put out there, because they're only in bits and pieces, or they're only listening. Like if you have listened to your friend, no matter. Don't make them touch you. It's not right. So I will use my father. My father was like that. And when we pushed him to go do it, or he came home and said, why? You know, some people will rip you inside there. Oh, okay, Dad, that's however you want to think about it, but you got it done. That's it. Because my father would have never gone. Never. We all like, you're going. Something's not right, you're going. He was hiding it, and we found out, nah, you got to go. So I fully understand. My father was definitely one of those men where his friends would tell him, don't go, don't do it, don't let them touch you. You listen. You listen to you. And that's what a lot of our men need to do. Start checking your own body. Make it important for you. You want to perform, you want to make this individual happy. And if this person loves you, they love you unconditionally and support you through the process. That's the most important thing, because when you're alone, that just deepens going through if you don't have that support, right? So
Hopefully, a
that's
lot of people, hopefully, a lot of people who are listening or get a chance to listen to this conversation, they will understand the burden that I've been carrying for many, many years, untold. I'm really, really grateful that I've been given the opportunity to come forward amongst you both and to speak openly about it. But once again, this is the first time I've actually really reached out properly, and I feel confident enough. As I said, I'm still living this burden myself, but here I am in your arms, telling you exactly as it is. You understand? But there are ways. I don't want people to be despondent neither, because yes, once again, every man is different and responds different, and there are instruments or there are tools that can help you to perform. But I chose not to take any of them. You understand? I tried some of them for a while, and it's not for me. You understand? I just made the sacrifice that I don't need to know now. You understand?
right, right. That's very, and I'm happy that you said that
I'm in
because
my
that's very
early 60s. I'm in my early 60s, and I'm just grateful that I'm still here. So, that's the least of my worries, to be honest. As I said, General, you know how far we're coming back and how the places that I've had a chance to be. So I've done all my years of having fun like that. There's no need for me to do that at my age now. I'm too old for all of that nonsense. You understand? It might be good relief, but yeah, in fact, I'm proof that you can live and live happily. Yes, it is sad, and to have to speak about it is definitely emotional. But as I said, I've been carrying this burden now for the best part of 9 years. You understand? Since I first had the first surgery. So 9 years. So the people who understand my music and my mentality, sometimes this is what's been holding me back for many, many years, because I've kept it to myself for a long, long time. A
Yeah.
long, long time. And I've always said, after the first 2 years, when I was able to kind of slightly reach out, but I would never have gone as far as what I'm doing here opening with you lot today. You
Hmm.
understand? I've made myself very clear and where I am. But here I am. At least I'm here. Once again, ignorance has no part to play. If you're ignorant, you won't survive. It's simple as.
Hmm. I have to tell you how proud I am of you also, to see where you're coming from to where you're at today. Even something as humongous as, sharing your story. It's all about breaking the spell, which is what we're doing here. You sharing your story is about normalizing a situation, normalizing talking about it, normalizing being transparent about it, breaking the spell of, oh my God, if I talk about it, everybody's gonna ridicule me. We gone past all that, you know what I mean? And
Okay.
we are the torchbearers. We are in our father's position. I'm going to bring my guest, our next guest, who is waiting in the waiting room. But I want to tell you, basically, how proud I am of you for sharing your story
me
and being
too.
transparent and giving somebody else a chance out there. Whoever that person is out there who we're, who we may not know or who may not have come forward, you know, hopefully they will see this video and say, I heard Basie Clarke tell his story, Anthony Basie Clarke. And when I heard his story, it made me want to go check myself. That's what it's
Yeah.
about, saving lives and being
Hmm.
transparent.
The
So
key
I
part is,
really
the key
salute
part is
you.
you must act. I know you have to go, but the key part, please don't give up hope. That's the key part. If you're prepared to give up hope, then you've got no chance. I am proof today here to everyone watching this podcast. I am proof. I
Yeah.
fought. I chose to fight. That's why I'm still here. As deep as my one was, I'm still here. Thank you all anyway. Thank you all very
No,
much.
don't leave. Don't leave. Basie, don't leave. You stay right there, my friend, because this
No,
is. Oh, okay, good. Don't leave, my friend.
We,
Sorry to
we,
interrupt.
we are proud of you, Basie.
I'm so
DJ
proud.
Maestro, read this message for me, Sharon, please.
Okay, DJ Maestro is shouting you out and says, Basie Clarke, blessing, sir, for sharing your story. It's a difficult personal journey to speak about, and I salute you. That's coming from DJ Maestro.
DJ Maestro, I have another message here. Let's see.
Golly Goddess, so proud of you, cuz. That's your cousin? Golly Goddess.
All right. So
Yeah.
those are
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
very proud.
So those are two people there. Well, that was Anthony Clarke sharing his story, and we thank him greatly. That's what this show is about. We want to encourage others. If anybody else wants to come on this show and speak about their situation, feel free to do so. You can hit us up on our SPRB Radio podcast or SPRB Radio channel page on Facebook.
Yes.
All right, just inbox us a message if you want to share your story. And it's
Or
as
you
simple
can
as
inbox
that.
us individually. It's fine. Sharon Mango, Instagram.com. If you want to personally hit us up, we're very happy for you to do that.
Give them your page again. Give them your personal page again.
My personal page is just Sharon Mango on Instagram. Sharon Mango, look me up. I think there's only one of me.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
right.
let's introduce the next speaker, who is a reggae revolutionary.
Yes,
Introduce him, and let's play the video before we bring him on. Go ahead.
Okay. So next up, our guest, I'm glad Anthony basically you stay put. You can interject when you would like. I guess the reggae revolutionary I-Maa-Ra, and yes, I consider him a friend. This man is so amazing to me. Him and his beautiful wife, who do a podcast also on life and different subjects. But I-Maa-Ra, Roots Rock I-Maa-Ra, Reggae Revolutionary, thank you so much. It's coming on to us. Talk to us about health and exercise, the importance of all of these things before, during, and after prostate. Just things, helpful tips for everyone who right, Textar. It's about health because the next thing.
Well, he's going to be talking to us about a wide range of things. He's been a person who's helped me greatly. When I was first diagnosed, there was a person who reached out to me and gave me certain exercises to do, which I'm doing to this day, and he's just been a force of inspiration in my life. He always has been, but even more so today. So let me just play this video of who he is. He's a reggae revolutionary. Okay, so take a listen. Remember, Adrian, mic check.
Check. When I hear me clearly.
Picking up clear.
Loud and clear.
Love and light. All of the family. Blessed Father's Day to the two fathers and all the other fathers listening around the world. Yeah. How are you doing, Sharon Mango?
I am good, sir. Can I just say this real quick? You see, I-Maa-Ra, when I was in Jamaica some months back, let me tell you about a man that looked fit. This man was the picture of health and strength. Me said the man fit. Right? I thought that we got just to prove he's the picture of health. He would look him and his beautiful wife.
Yeah.
Such an amazing person. So yes, this is the perfect gentleman to
Yes,
talk up
yes.
the things. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, I. It's a joy being here. It's a joy being here. So
Well,
where do we
thank you.
start?
Thank you for being, a force of strength in my life, and just being an article, great brethren,
Yes.
and you shared so much stuff with me. I felt it would be a good thing to impact, our listeners with some of your knowledge. So just take us to wherever you want to lead us to. This is where you interject.
Yeah, I'm listening to BSA. I don't know if you are seeing this on the screen. See?
Where is it?
Yeah.
All
See
right.
there?
So this is a sister who I
Move it to
know
the center a little bit.
to the center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. No,
Okay, right.
Right.
A little bit more.
no, more. Yeah, left it
All
there, sir.
Yeah,
right.
right there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right there, right there.
Good.
Hmm.
So this is a sister who I know very well. She's not here, but I'm using the term in presence. She made her
Mm,
transition, right? And her name
Okay.
is Dr. Kiefer Florian. See?
mm,
So before me going in, I don't know how long I have, but let me just read something from this book.
mm. Yeah.
In 1977, I was diagnosed in stages of cancer.
Mm,
There I was, saved, sanctified, and full of cancer. I
mm,
couldn't understand how such a thing could happen to me. I was in church 6 or 7 days a week, doing all the right things. How could this happen to me? I remember begging for my life to change. If someone could win favor with God, maybe all my problems would disappear. As I begged for God's mercies, I realized how undeserving I felt. The shame, guilt was overwhelming. It seemed God was punishing me for some reason that was completely foreign to me. At one point, I believed my world was coming to an end. The agony and torture from the echoing thoughts of living, then dying from cancer became unbearable. That afternoon, I decided to end my miserable life by taking a bottle of antidepressants and half a bottle of sleeping pills. My 3-year-old son and my father found me and rushed me to the Providence Hospital. As the doctor struggled to bring me back, I remember a soft voice within me saying, when you become more loving and acceptance of yourself, breaking free of self-destructive thoughts and tendency becomes a natural step. I want to stop right there, so
mm,
because one of the things that I realize with life, in all aspect of life, is the power of the thoughts, the power of the mind. They say what you think is what you become.
mm-hmm,
you know and more and more, I through my spiritual journey, I start to observe these things, that
mm-hmm,
you know if I get up in the morning and decided that I'm going to have a beautiful day, what I mean, and
mm-hmm,
go in the process of chant and just keep a positive vibes and know say
mm-hmm,
today is beautiful, irrespective
mm-hmm,
of all the other things that are happening around.
mm-hmm,
Within me there's a beauty, within me there's a light. And one of
mm,
the things that I observe, where there's light, there cannot be no any form of darkness,
yeah.
right? And if your vibes and your energy is about being well, if your vibes
Mm-hmm,
and your energy and your thought is about being aware of the beauty that is within you,
mm-hmm,
all the other things that may happen will keep that consciousness alive, and it will feed the cells within you. You know what I mean? Because everything is energy. We must come to that clarity that everything is energy. And if you walk into a room with the vibration where there's darkness, there's people with a certain level of energy,
mm-hmm,
you can feel it. If you walk into a room and it is full of joy and vibrancy, you can feel
mm-hmm,
it. And it definitely going to affect and impact you. See? So over the years, growing up in the hills of St. Thomas. Within that community, I realized that though we were always, on the run doing things, but there's this level of comfort within us. We know the kind of herb to eat, the food to eat, my ancestors, them understand the whole moon cycle and how we live by these things, the whole thing of nowadays they are giving it pretty name, detoxing. We know the whole principle of washout. We used to call it washout. So there's a particular time of the year when we know boy we're going to cleanse ourselves. The whole aspect of fasting, which I believe a lot of us can't even practice a day of not putting stuff within our stomach because we believe say we have to eat 4 or 3 or 5 times a day. Some of we all eat 6 times a day, right? So you see the amount of pressure these things put on your internal organ, and not just the physical things that you put in your body, but the other things, the mental things, the emotional things that you absorb that is coming into you every day. And all of that is packing inside of you. You know what I mean? And once these things are there and don't have an outlet, then what is they are going to turn? They are going to turn tumors.
Right.
You know what I mean? So as I said, tumors are psychological and tumors are physical. Because if you have something where you want to say, and you don't want to tell your brethren, and you have it a wall inside of you, it will build up a tension, you know.
That's right.
So we're talking about stress depression, which is linked to your nervous system.
Them call all these names, stress, depression, this and that. But it is just the lack of flow. You understand the whole thing of flow? We have examples around us saying, if you understand your whole respiratory system, right? And you get up this morning and one side of your nostril block, and you realize say you can't breathe properly. See, if you relax and reflect, you maybe start to think, what is it that I am holding on to that may have this blockage? And as soon as maybe you start to do some simple thing like this, even waving your hands and start to breathe, you realize that there's a relief. There are things on the practice, you know what I mean?
Right.
See? So you realize that everything is flow. Or your energy flow, or your angle, your breath. You understand?
Yeah.
And we have to start to think of something where the doctor now will tell we. But it is a part of us that we must learn, even the things that we wear. Because a lot of, and we notice prostate, right? And one of the things them talk about prostate is them always talk about the black man might have it or will get it after them past 40. Now, we must look on the traumatization of the black man. And this is what we are talking about, trauma. Especially living in places like America, England, Canada, where racism and all sorts of discriminatory energy coming at you constantly, and you have to absorb them thing there and hold on upon them thing that there is no way. Let them out. You see me? I said,
no way of releasing it.
And to release it. So all these level of tension bound to create some form of tumor, whether prostate. Your prostate is an emotional place, just like home is an emotional place for the woman. See? So if you can't release those emotions, they are going to form tumors. You know what I mean? So I am saying yes, it is physical and it is here with us. But first and foremost, how we are going to deal with ourselves psychologically, how we are going to deal with ourselves physically, and how we are going to deal with ourselves emotionally. Because none of the other things that we use, like chemo and all of these things, not going to help us if we don't come to that spiritual wholeness, that enlightenment of self, and how we commune with the universe, commune with ourselves, and commune with our brothers and sisters. You know,
Positive energy.
yeah, I'm saying the world is full of so many vibration, and they deliberately these things. You know,
Yeah.
I was speaking to you recently, my brother 10-star general, that these people master the art of affect our emotion. We need to master the art of not allowing anything outside of us to impact our emotion so deeply. We
My
must.
brother always taught me that protect your peace at all costs.
Simple way input it. Protect your peace of mind. We have to reach the point there that no matter what going wrong with, we still hold the order of peace.
Yeah.
You see me, I said?
Love that. Love,
you know?
love that. Love
Because
that.
check it. Just check it. When you get angry, how you feel?
Terrible. Full of rage.
No, all of that rage, do something sick instantly to your whole flow.
Definitely. I come to realize that, definitely.
All right. If we in a vibration, we just start to laugh and all like, oh, there's a reason now. How you feel?
Yeah, yeah.
You feel a sense of lightness, a sense of joy, and you see me, I said? See?
Yeah.
So all the things that we are seeking, it's right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's only right here you can experience peace. It's only right here you can experience joy. You know? So even if a man take you into a palace full of gold, diamond, all the great foods and things, but inside of your head, you're confused. You're not going full joy, all of those things that are there.
Yeah.
But if you're peaceful and a man even put you in a cell with roaches and all the other things,
yeah,
you still hold your order.
Yeah.
Because you're carrying that inner peace within you. So whatever is happening within your environment will really affect the inner peace.
I think one of the most important things about what you've been saying and what I've realized with life, everybody is running their own race. Everyone is in a kind of lane, fighting one thing or the other. And sometimes what other people are fighting kind of affects other people if we allow it to, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean is this, right? If somebody is going through racism and discrimination and you've come through 20 years of that to a place now where you're at peace, if you allow somebody who's now just going through that racism and discrimination, it throws your whole psyche right back to that place where you were raging. So sometimes the only thing you can do is either one, encourage the other person positively, or two, try and find a way of eliminating that kind of rage that other people are going through and bring yourself to that level of peace where you're not allowing it to affect you. And that's what used to happen to me quite a bit. Because when I see other people going through racism, discrimination, you name it, what I realized, and I'll tell you this, my pressure was going over 250 over 160. You couldn't make that up if you tried. I was a walk-in, what do you call it? Heart attack. And I had 3 mild strokes, 3 mild strokes. You're looking at it. So I had to find a way of bringing myself peace. I know some people who go through stress, depression, and they've linked whatever they're going through, right, whether it's MS or whether it's other things, they're linking it to the stress and depression. This has
100%.
happened because your body was in trauma. This has happened because you've allowed stress to get to you. You know, I remember my doctor saying to me, if you don't bring yourself peace, I can guarantee you will be dead. So a lot of what you're saying makes a whole heap of stress, you know, bringing
100,
peace to yourself by any means necessary, even if it means walking away from the people who are bringing you so much stress in your life. It's affecting
So
all of us.
true. I can honestly say that for myself, when I was told I had these fibroids, what I thought was 2 and 3, by the time by the time I had surgery, by the time they
Mm.
got me what was 2 and 3, 27 fibroids living in the base of my abdomen, nothing in the uterus, abdomen. And
Of
I
yours.
honestly, on my abdomen.
Oh,
Now,
Jesus.
when I really think about it, 'cause I had to check, like, even the doctors were like, "How is this is a really different kind of case because you usually find fibroids in the uterus, nothing." When I
Mm.
investigated for myself, thought about all the stuff I went through, the traumas, the this, the that, how everything, if I get angry, it just affects your stomach first. When you get angry, there's a certain part of your body it either affects your head, it either affects your legs, your back. You'd be so surprised to know at the different targets
Mm.
in your when you're stressed out, it's going to target something. One part of your body is going to target. And for me, I knew that even after when I was going in for that surgery, I just had a feeling I wasn't going to come out of it. And that almost happened. But when I did, I changed my whole mental state thinking.
Mm.
What used to stress me, or people that used to stress me, or whatever was going on at that time, I had to eliminate it because I said I almost was not here over
Mm.
all this nonsense before. And if God granted me life to continue, I vowed to eliminate all of that stress and keeping it in and not saying nothing and taking so everything what I-Maa-Ra has said, there is truth
Mm.
to it. I have proven that for myself. There is truth to it. So
Mm.
it's amazing what the mental could do,
Mm.
mental psyche into your body. Because it's everything's here, it's all frontal, and then it starts to affect all the different neurons and this and that in your. It's amazing
Mm.
how real that is. That's real talk. What I-Maa-Ra is saying, this is not bull. It's real.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And and
I-Maa-Ra.
and
Yeah.
and this is something, the power of thought. Harness the
Mm.
energy set forth by your mind. Your thoughts create your reality.
Mm.
Disease is nothing more than crystallized thoughts form. Change your thinking and change your life. Heal your thoughts and heal yourself. You know?
Mm.
And these are some profound principles that if we practice these things, day in, day out, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And one of the things that I realized, King, it's not our senses supposed to rule us. We supposed to be the master of our senses,
Mm.
and realize that most of us function in a way that we allow our senses,
Mm.
the sensory nature of our body to rule us.
Mm.
If we understand the higher self, we determine, when the
Mm.
urge of drinking or the urge of smoking and the urge of sex and just the urge to be rebellious,
Yeah.
if we learn how to just sit and close your eye,
Mm.
you know,
Mm.
don't see everything around you in the world that you want to take on. I am here and I am just here, right? And I am okay, So if you start to see yourself, telling yourself that I am well, I
Mm.
am okay, you
Mm.
know. You see, I was listening to Fela Kuti this morning, and there was something beautiful he said. He said that when you speak the truth, right, people will come at you.
Mm.
And then you speak it again, and they will put you in jail.
Yeah.
And then you speak it again, and they will burn down your house.
Mm.
And he said, well, I speak the truth, and they burnt my house. Then he said, some of my friends came to me, and he said, the friends who are afraid of life, that is what grabbed me. The friends who are afraid of life. Because what fellow Kute is saying, that along the journey of life, there is pleasantness and unpleasantness. And say you are going to speak the truth, and it is going to affect some people in a negative way because they don't want to accept the truth, and they will try to destroy you. But him said there is a word named pansa pansa. And pansa pansa means continue speaking the truth. And you speak it, speak it, speak it, speak it, till there will be no more. And the truth will continue forever because it is what it is.
Yeah.
I want to segue into that to understand that we must know that living and dying is not separate. See? And we have been cultured to fear the inevitable. And every time we hear about dying or somebody die, we get so emotional. You know, I believe that there is something that we need to get deeper into and understand the whole principle of living and dying. Yeah? Because if you look at me now and the past 20 years, you can see the process of dying taking place. So I have some gray years here, you know, the black one, them gone. It's a process of dying, you know, so it is happening every day. It's just for us to understand that beautiful aspect of life. Yeah, see, because this is how beautiful it is. But some system and somebody create this fear factor in our consciousness. And if you understand the two energy, fear and love, right? When you are fully aware of what love is, you cannot be fearful. Because what fear created is tension. You know, when you fear to express yourself, you realize your throat start to get tight, your lip them start to get dry, you know, you start to get nervous. So you see the whole physiology, it affects the whole physiological system. You understand? But when you are in full flow of love and joy, you realize how you flow through life. Nothing concern you. You see me I say? So I am saying, how much more can we form a community of love, a community of life, to get back to that original principle of my art, the balance, the reciprocity. You know what I mean? Knowing the constant evolution and the constant change that is inevitable. I am here because my four parents played their parts, and here I am. So I am going to play my part. That's why children come through my line. You know what I mean? And I will go out. But how you go out? You want to go out aware, you want to go out consciously, and you want to even go out blissfully. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be leaving this plane in unpleasantness and pain. And this is something that we must learn how to get ourselves at that space, that whenever we are leaving this plane, we leave on our own terms. Can we start to think of practicing that? That we don't leave because of pain. We leave joyfully. And when I say pain, I not talk about physical pain, because I want people to understand, say, nothing wrong with pain, you know. Pain is a part of the process. Pain is an indication for sure, say something need to check out. You know what I mean? But it's how much we are listening to our body. You understand? It's how much we are listening to our body. You know, for the past couple of months, this left shoulder was very, very weak. See? And I realize the weakness in it. So most time I lift something, I really feel the pain. But because of my inner vibration, I continue to bear it through. Because I know I need to get it strong. You know what I mean? And I start to feel the difference in it in the past couple of weeks. Where we wake up and I'm not going on doctor, I'm not going to do no therapy, you know, no therapy. But just make sure say me know what to do. Forget the strength inside of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's all of these things. It's
training the mind and the body.
Training the mind and the body. Dedicate yourself to yourself.
And eliminating fear.
You know what I mean? Because when I want to say to the eye them, I realize that you see the word cancer, it become a big business. It's a business for the pharmaceutical people because, you know, as I talk about Sister Kiefer Lorraine, after she's been through that, she cured herself completely. Cure herself and help many people to heal themselves as well. You know what I mean? And I remember another brother who used to run a health food store in Dermore Drive. It is now Courtney Walsh Drive. And doctor write him off. And him say one night he go in bed and he just hear a voice say, go raw. And him just start to blend carrot juice and just go raw, totally raw. And him completely heal himself. And out of that process of healing, he end up owning 2 health food store in the heart of New Kingston. See? And he's not here anymore, but he has left a legacy. He left a legacy that his wife and his children continuing that education and to benefit from. You see me I say? So sometimes, and another thing, it might be hard to accept. Our challenges and our pain sometimes, my brother and my sister, my brothers and sister, it is not for us alone. Because our victories will inspire others.
Yes.
So sometimes when you see your time, I go through the toughness. As me say, if we can sit back, because all of the great people who we might give reverence to, whether Buddha, Christ, Krishna, you know, Shiva, you know, if you look on their journey, it's full of turmoil.
Yeah.
We praise them, but we don't want to go through on turmoil. So our fear of going through that alone destroy us. But as we say, when darkness, it's as simple as it. It's as simple as this. Wherever there is darkness, once you switch on the light, darkness disappear. I'm saying to us, just be the light at all times. You can constantly be that light. It's not hard because you are it. But it's what you make dominate. If you make darkness dominate you, then you are going to experience darkness.
Yeah.
But if you know that you're a light, then darkness will be an illusion.
Yeah. And I guess that's something that I've learned over the last couple of weeks. Right now, with where my headspace is, is almost like kill and destroy anything that comes through my pathway that is aimed to bring harm to me. You know what I mean? So my headspace is in a place where it's so firm, strong, and determined that I believe I can defeat anything named cancer or any other or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And that came through just learning how to eliminate fear, go through the process, and just understand where you're at, what I'm eating that's killing me anyway. I've been eating things for years, knowing that Well, now knowing that they're no more good, it's not good for me. Like I say, part of this program is about speaking our truth. I used to eat rice and come to understand white rice is not good for me because
No.
it sits in your stomach like sugar. You know,
Aye.
I hear potato does the same thing. I hear white flour does the same thing. I'm hearing bread does the same thing. I hear sugar is killing us, whether it's white sugar, brown sugar. You know what I mean? So as I come to understand about food in itself and the power of soursop, I now understand why soursop is so expensive. The other day I bought two big soursop. It cost me £55. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Just to heal
And
myself?
and watch ya. Them just that's why Jamaica is such a special place, King.
What?
Because I went down at the market yesterday and you know see whole heap of soursop and stall and they are not that expensive.
There you go.
You was you see me I say and one of the thing I mentioned it before. I mentioned it before and I'm going to say it again. The older we get is the less our organs need to be active,
Yeah.
right? So I am saying, if we can just do some juice sometime, man, try a 2 or 3 day water fast. Just
Mm.
water, tea, same, and just reflect. Lock off your phone, lock off this, and just sit. Just
Yeah.
relax. You know what I mean? Don't pay attention to too much thing we are going on your TV. And the
Mm.
bomb them we are drop over Palestine. Yeah,
Mm.
it's
Mm.
brothers and sisters. But if you check the history, last night I was talking with my son and my wife, we sit down and I was just reflecting on something. And I'm saying we can be very neurotic, to ourselves. Because look at it. Some of the things where we are trying to fight and want to stop and who not like to say happen.
Mm-hmm.
These things are there thousands of years. And me and you come take it on and want to eliminate it in our lifetime.
Real talk. For real.
It is a madness.
True. It's
Mm.
true. It's so
Why you want to eliminate something? First of all, if you observe it clearly, your own mind, if you sit here, the amount of things that come in your thoughts and go in the last 20 minutes, right? Now you want to control the minds of millions of people around the world. We think differently. We not think
Mm.
like you. And sometimes we have this conflict because we expect people to see things how we see it.
Mm.
And if they don't see it how we see it, is a problem.
Mm.
right.
So what we are doing is taking on unnecessary problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something I'm learning, I have to
Yeah,
admit.
yeah. Even with Rasta, I was talking to my brother a while ago, and as I come out me hear Bob Marley said the same thing. See,
Mm.
we hold on to Marcus, they hold on to Haile Selassie. See, and if a man say him not believe in the same thing we fight Christianity about, it's the same
Mm.
thing. I was listening to Bob Marley saying some people say the only truth is Haile Selassie is God.
Mm.
Now, when you make a mention of that, you believe that you are trying to bring people together.
Mm.
But by that expression, you're creating another
A
set of
division.
divisiveness.
That's
Yeah?
true. Yeah.
Because you are going to tell the Indian man who believe in a Shiva, say the
Mm.
only Almighty is Haile Selassie. And you are going to tell another man who believe in Muhammad, say
Mm-hmm.
Haile Selassie. You see the amount of stirring up that we create in
Yeah.
ourselves, and we
Yeah.
cause these things over and over. So
Yes.
if
Yes.
we can just look on life as it
Mm-hmm.
is, it's like you want to tell the breadfruit to be a mango and tell the mango to be a breadfruit. It can't work. the mango and the breadfruit are breadfruit.
For real. Well, I
Yeah,
tell you what, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. I want to bring you back again another time.
yeah,
We have to round up the show, but
yes, sir.
a lot of what you're speaking about, speaks wholly to me.
Oh
And
yeah.
it makes me realize over the years how stressed I have been, you know, for some of the reasons you're talking about. I can't believe in this day and age that we have no regard for life. And these are some of the things that aid, you know, the stressfulness of life. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I brought a child into the world, and what kind of world did I bring my daughter into? You know what I mean? The things like that bother me and it worries me.
You what? Make we change that. It's not you bringing her into the world. She chose to come into the world through you. Just think about that, and don't worry about she, because your parents maybe was thinking about the same thing when it comes to you. But here you are now. We come here. We make a choice to return here to do what we are here to do. What we must make sure is that we have the choice to keep coming and going and keep coming and going, or we have the choice to elevate ourselves to a higher level and just leave to another realm. You know what I mean? So, you know, brother basic Clarke, I listen to the I, you know, and I truly appreciate love, you know, your tenacity, your courageousness, and your fight, you know what I mean? But try at all time to be at a calm space, you know what I mean? Just know that life is infinitely beautiful, and whatever is happening now is happening now. It's not, it's how you respond to it, it's how you deal with it, you know? Because sometimes we are trying to force against life. We can't do it. You know, don't try to force against life. Just flow with it. You know, because it's the easiest thing that. You understand? And brother 10 Star, you and I, let us know that you and I have regards for life. Those who don't have regards for life, they are the one who is going to face their karma. We can only pray for them, but we can't think for them, and we cannot do for them. We only can do for us, and what we do for us that is beautiful will affect others. So what we must do, make ourselves be the best. And when you become the best, you only can share your best self.
Real talk.
Yeah.
God bless you, brother. You know,
love and light.
Yes, King. You know, my respect for you is outstanding, and you know, me call you guru from now. You know what I mean?
You might forget. You have to do that because everything you said.
Yeah, he's remarkable. And let me tell you something. Every time I see I-Maa-Ra exercising, you remind me of my brother Talani, who was always exercising. You know, he ran from Wembley to Kilburn and back, and he was a powerhouse. And you kind of remind me of all that. You know what I mean? So big respect for coming on this space. We're going to bring you back again because you speak a lot of truth and facts. You know what I mean? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is I-Maa-Ra. You can check him out on his page, I-MA. I don't know if you haven't got the hyphens on your name on your social media sites.
No, if you go I-Maa-Ra,
right,
ROOTS, I-Maa-Ra Roots on Instagram.
Okay.
I-Maa-Ra Stewart on Facebook. I-M-A-R-A Stewart.
Right.
So
God bless you, brother. And bless up wifey, yeah?
Sharon.
Bless up wifey. Yes.
Bless up my brethren. Thanks a long time with a talk. All right. See?
Yes, for sure.
Salute. And all the listeners and all who tune in, love and light.
Yeah.
Blessed Father's Day.
Yeah. Thank you. Basic Clarke. Basic, what do you have to say to anybody out there who may be going through what we are going through? How would you advise them?
We're all one. Everything that, you know, if you don't have peace, that's the first. Peace is the key element to everything, you know. The battles is long forever. Every one of us. The roads are different. Our journeys are different. But peace, if you have peace, it's easy.
Yeah.
All my listeners, thank you all very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Basie. And Sarah Mango, where I say?
Well, let me tell you, this has been a phenomenal show. Two amazing gentlemen. Baby, you know how much I love and respect you because we coming from the same roots. We coming from the same area. We established that when we first met. Like we come from the same place, and to know, you know what I mean? You're at this level in your life and what you've gone through. I want to thank you so much for your transparency. It's a beautiful thing, and it will make a difference. It will change lives. Believe me, this will. And I-Maa-Ra, I have a tremendous amount of respect for you, sir. You're always positive. You have a beautiful circle around you, your children, your son, your amazing wife, and your outlook to life. Please constantly keep pushing because you are a guru. Whether you want to take that title, yes or no, we deem you guru. You are the change. You are the change that people need to see and hear. So blessings to you, sir. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Again, 10-star, amazing show.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, just tell them quickly who we got next week, Saturday.
Next week, Saturday, we actually have my daughter that's going on. My daughter is an executive performance chef, and she's going to be talking about nutrition, how nutrition changed her life and how she's implemented it now in others' lives. She is the executive performance chef for the Dallas Mavericks. She will share with us the good, the bad, and the different in food, how to move your food, how to eat your food, how to cook your food, what oils, just things that she'll be sharing with us. So I'm happy to announce, yes, and she is my daughter, Chef Lex. Look out today.
Yeah, it's all about eating right and, you know, executing the knowledge. And we want to be able to provide that on this show as well. So we thank her for coming onto our show next week, Saturday. I want to leave people with a message from a gentleman who goes by the name of Colin McFarlane, and he's a Hollywood actor. He's been in quite a few great films. I think the latest film he was in was the Batman film. And he has a message because he went through, or are still going through, prostate cancer. And quite a few other people have been going through it too, have been speaking out, which is great for the awareness. So I'm going to play that and we're going to end the show. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this show. We're out of here.
My name is Colin McFarlane. I'm an actor. Google me and see all my stuff, but forget all that. Most important thing you need to know is that I got diagnosed with prostate cancer, right? And I got diagnosed because a friend of mine called John Shrapnel, who sadly is no longer with us, told me 20 years ago that black men are double the risk. So when you get over 50, make sure you have a blood test every year, right? So I did it for about 6 years. And then what happens is your number goes up on the test. And mine went up a little bit, and they said, we want to keep a close eye. So I said, can I have it every 6 months? Then that was for another year and a half, and then they went, it's gone up again. We want to do a MRI. They did an MRI. I then got a call saying you've got a 30% chance it's cancer. And I was like, whoa, well, there's a 70% chance it's not. And they went, yeah, but we want to do a biopsy. So they did a biopsy, and they took samples of my prostate and discovered that I did have cancer, right? And I've been being tested for 8 years, so I caught it early. So my specialist said to me, you will not need treatment at the moment, but you'll need active surveillance, which means I have a blood test every 3 months and an MRI once a year. But here's the thing you need to know. You cannot wait for pain, and you cannot wait for symptoms for prostate cancer. I have prostate cancer, right? I have no pain. I have no symptoms, but I have prostate cancer. But because I know about it, I've caught it early. Now, here's the bit you also need to understand, is that gives me the best options for treatment. If you wait, you have less treatment options available, and you have to have it removed, or you have to have radiotherapy. That means you'll live, but you have lifestyle problems, right? You'll have erectile dysfunction, and you'll have incontinence. Now, I'm assuming you're a red-blooded male. Do you want to lose your erection? Probably not, right? So if you don't want to lose your erection, motherfucker, what you need to do is do what I've just told you. You go to your GP and you say, a friend of mine who was in Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, this actor, right? The voice of the Cube, right? He's done a lot of stuff. He has no symptoms, no pain, and he's under active surveillance because the risk is not pain and symptoms, the risk is your age. And as soon as you are over 45 as a black man, you are at risk. I have 2 brothers who knew nothing about prostate cancer. I told them to get tested 2 years ago. Both of them have now been diagnosed with prostate cancer, and both of them need treatment. I don't need treatment yet. So what I'm saying to you is you need to understand it's known as the silent killer for a reason. There are more people dying from prostate cancer than breast cancer, but breast cancer patients or women are invited for a mammogram. We are not invited for a test for prostate cancer. I'm working on that with a charity. So these are the things you understand. The other thing is, I understand you have a daughter. If a man gets advanced prostate cancer and has a daughter, she is at increased risk of breast and ovarian cancer. Yes, fact. So if you won't do this test for yourself, do it for your daughter, right? I've been saying this to men for over a year now, and a lot of men have rung me up and thanked me because they feel I've saved their life. I hope you're going to listen to me because I'm saving yours, all right? And if you have any more questions, your sister knows where I am. She knows Annie Domingo. She can find me. But trust me, do not wait. Do not wait for pain. Do not wait for symptoms, because by the time you have pain, that means it's spread. Because the cancer's inside your prostate. That's about that big, right? If it stays inside your prostate, you can treat it and cure it. Once it leaves your prostate, it goes into your bones and into your lymph nodes, which means it goes all around your body. You don't want to wait for that. Trust me, black men need to get tested every single year. Go to your GP, say, I deserve a blood test, I have a right to have a blood test, and have it. And if you have any questions, go to the Prostate Cancer website, Prostate Cancer UK. It's a bit noisy behind me because the cast have come through. But go there, and there's something called a risk check. It takes 30 seconds. Put in your age, your family history of cancer, and your ethnicity, and it will tell you what I just told you, that you need to go to your GP and get a blood test. Do it.